way I shoot the arrow of a higher order, and as it loses strength to 1, now I try to catch up and I create direction of the fields of the motion. This is how we see magnetic fields move, because in that process, how the original motion started. Now the universe is full of fields, and in that process, we don't see this operation so visible. But in a way, we see it in macro and micro, both the same, in the motion of the creation of the light at upper atmosphere and its attraction due to its strength to fulfill the need of the center of the planet as light. And then in that process, particles themselves, according to change of the strength in trying to reach the center of planet, in interaction with a different field, the strength of the fields of inside of the planet lead to creation of the matter. And then, as matter has both gravitational and magnetic field forces, it becomes matter and inertia of the matter. Now we understand the process. Now we are aware of the reality of the creation, which maybe up to now were not understood. I need the space here. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. And in that process, now we come to one thing. This light, this particle, now by slowing down in the point of arrival, creates its own plasma. And if we create enough magnetic field by pulling from different dimensions and directions of the same strength, which mostly exists across the universe, we create the seed of a planet. This is what we call the principal matter. This is what we call the center core. This is what we call the where the field interaction brings gravity and magnetic fields. Now this is your first point, first point of reference, what we call MAGRAP. You created the gravitational magnetic field of it. Now in the rest of the universe, an interaction with the fields of the sun, which continuously feed into it, and other sources of cosmos, which continuously feed it. The center core, can I have a different color, please? Any color. Now, the fields in slowing down will create matter state. And this matter state expands. The size of the planet expands by interaction of the fields of the sun and the earth. And now these themselves carry as the fields and convert into the matter state, create the transition of inertia. So now you have not only MAGRAP, you have inertia too. Then the rest of the interaction of the inertia with the gravitational magnetic fields. And can I have a different color, please? And the fields around the planet. In a way now you have two fields, plus now the environment which they have created leads to creation of matter state. So now this matter state has a condition in a solid, liquid, or whatever, depending on the interaction of the inertia and mass of the system. Then in that process, depending where this matter state sits and its center, it leads to the creation of the soul, of its own physicality. And in the total interaction of the fields in different mixtures leads to the totality of what we call, can I have another color please? The soul of physicality in respect to interaction of totality of the matter state and the fields. Now we understand why we have the 5 cups. So if you understood this and you understand the theology and the point of the creation, becomes very easy to understand. How you create which one gives you what you need. If you create the strength of the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth, anywhere in the universe, you connect to Earth. If you create gravitational magnetic field of the inertia of a given location of the Earth, you go to that point. It's the universal GPS system, not only for the position, but for exact condition and the strength that you land on. The reason we put the 5 cups out was what we call the stepping stones for you to understand the start of the creation of life. Anywhere in the universe. You want to go to planet Mars, you have to create a condition of magnetism of the Mars in your system. Now, the same as the light, as you saw, matching with the light of his past, you travel to that position, to that destination. Can you go backwards, please, Elsani? That way, just a slide. In that reference, we saw how everything moved to reach to this point. Now, this point for you is this. What the interaction of the environment, of the fields, thank you very much, creates, gives you this one. You want to land in Tehran, you create not only GPS position, you call it a magnetic gravitation of the Earth, you create the inertia where the total field of the matter state of Tehran was made of. So not only you come to Earth, but you end in the position of Tehran. Be it New York, be it Beijing, is all the same. Because the inertia is different. That's why we have different matter states in everything else. Then you want to appear or produce in that position, in the dimension of the physicality of the man. The soul of the man has a spectrum range. So you come from planet, whatever, you had a different structure, you create the soul of the man in the strength of the planet. You take the feature of the man. Then you decide in what soul and physicality you manifest yourself. This is the beauty of the creation, if you understand it. Those who tell you to throw the 5 cups away means throw the knowledge of the creation away. Of course, we have seen this from the enemies of the foundation, because they know you are reaching to the point of maturity. And by slaving you, as they've done for centuries and thousands of years, they can still rule you. The knowledge of creation is simple. The knowledge of creation is so beautiful that now we have the plasma technology that we can create different strengths of maghreb, different strengths of inertia, different strengths of the matter state. We can produce anything, any position, and travel to any destination in the universe. Throw the cups up. Your nation will suffer to absolute poverty, as the ones who understand will rule you. And this is the whole, those who say that. They slaved you for centuries. Now they see the key of freedom given by the foundation. They have come up with the new tricks. You're a simple man like me, simple to understand. Now you understand how in a coming time you will travel the depth of the universe. Now, by understanding the soul of the cancer, the soul of whatever disease you have, you can create, is feel the strength of his matter state and his soul. Seconds done. As the head of the Keshe Foundation said, explain to them that they understand. When they don't understand, they're open to abuse. Now you understand. And if you look at it, if you really understand and go back to the origin of the teaching, can I have a black color, please? It's simple. Very simple. Principle matter, transition, and the matter state, if you want to think in either way. There is no change in the knowledge which we transferred. Now you have to decipher. When you're on Earth, you have what you call fixed gravitational magnetic fields. When you are on Earth and you want to go from New York to Washington, or from New York to Tehran or another point, you create only the inertia part fields. And you be within Earth and you arrive at that point. And then if you are on Earth and you have the same gravitational magnetic field and inertia, that in, let's say, in New York, you want to create the fish, which is the same taste as the fish you had in Tehran. Now you create the condition of the inertia which applies and implies in Tehran, and then you get the same fish. With a new understanding of the technology, there is no genetic modification. It is the truth. In a way, you create a condition and the soul will fit into it to fulfill it. There is no talk of genetically changing. It's to giving the inertial value to it that it can grow within it. Now, you see why when we apply the technology in a GANs, we write off all the GMOs. We've seen this in China. We've seen this in other parts of the world where we go back to the origin of the seed. Many of you have a fear what this vaccination with COVID-19 will do to you. Nothing. Because if you go back to the systems and understand the use of the technology, they can give you kilos, tons of the injection. Because your body has said to be on the original dimension as you created the amino acid of, does not affect you. But you have to understand what you do. You have to understand the creation of the magnetic fields in the dimension of the plasma, in the strength of the virus, will handle it. But the injection of the new material will be converted. The control of the man has to be in the hand of the man with the knowledge he carries, not by the fear which is created in him not to see what he has. As I said to the Iranian teaching on Monday, as one of the most, what I call illiterate people in the Iranian community told the foundation supporters to throw the cups away because they saw the truth and they could not slave the man, and be seen again by another person who we kicked out of the foundation saying to throw the cups. Throw the cups away. Now you understand this. This is the cup 1. Exactly what you have. Can I have a color, please? If you don't see it, I explain to you. Yellow is good. This is your cup 1. It's still black. Pardon? This is your cup 1. This is your cup 2. This is your cup 3. This is your cup 4. And this is your cup 5. You throw the cups away, you throw your nation to absolute poverty by those who will control you. And those who tell you to do, the agents of the nation, which we have seen how keep nations in absolute poverty. Now you understand the principle, the totality of the creation. I put it to you in a simple version, in the matter of cups, that the layman on the street could understand that when he explained and understand the totality, not only him, but his children would not be taken to slavery by those who understood, and they block the knowledge. This is a European tactic which has been used for centuries. Create fear, create scaremongering and control.